Hi, my name is Tara McCarton and I'm a Garden City resident, and I wrote this book 2 years ago called The Wish, and it's based on my two daughters. My youngest daughter, Vivian's wish for Christmas was for her older sister who's nonverbal to speak. And it's a book about kindness and inclusion, and I hope that it brings a smile to your face during this trying time. I was supposed to read in all the Garden City schools this month, and since that's been postponed, I figured I would put a little video out there, and hopefully you and your kids will enjoy it. So here we go. The Wish. Once upon a time, there was a sweet young fairy named Audrey Page. Her wings were purple and lavender with sparkly stars all over. Audrey lived in a yellow and white polka dot mushroom with a bright blue door in a giant green field. Audrey would spring out of bed with a smile as the sun kissed her cheeks. Vivian, next door to Audrey, was a pink striped mushroom house with a hot pink door with another magical fairy lived. Her name was Vivian Catherine. Vivian was younger than Audrey, but her personality was brave and dazzling and bigger than the redwood trees in the forest. Vivian was always talking and describing everything she saw around her with such color you could imagine rainbows everywhere. Audrey loved listening to Vivian describe the beautiful things around her, like the rolling green hills, vibrant flowers, mystical mushroom houses, crystal clear streams, and deep green trees. Audrey could listen to Vivian all day. It made her smile and giggle 1,000 giggles and feel so alive. You see, Audrey was a fairy who could not speak yet. She would try to make sounds when she was happy or sad, but the words just did not come out yet. This frustrated Audrey, but Audrey was so happy because Vivian could express everything Audrey was seeing and feeling deep within her heart. Audrey and Vivian would play all day in the fields, running, jumping, and spreading joy to everyone they met. Vivian loved playing and talking to Audrey. Audrey would listen to every word and look at Vivian with such warmth and understanding. And Vivian would tell stories all day long about their beautiful village, which was filled with laughter and colors so bright. Vivian would often tell the other fairies in the village that Audrey spoke to her in her dreams. She said that as she slept, she heard Audrey's voice, and it was soothing like the waves in the ocean. And when Vivian woke up, she wanted to share with Audrey all that she had dreamed of. Some of the other fairies in the village couldn't understand the friendship between Audrey and Vivian. How could one who talked so much be friends with someone who did not speak with words yet? But Vivian and Audrey did not see these differences. They only know that they made each other happy. Vivian was so patient with Audrey and knew that if she could describe the bright, beautiful world around her, that Audrey would one day be able to speak. And without realizing it, Audrey was teaching Vivian how to slow down and appreciate every little thing around her, like the smell of the lovely roses after the sweet summer rain. And one day, while the two friends were playing and running, Vivian noticed a bright green light sparkle and flash under the redwood tree. It flashed by so quickly, but Vivian knew that she saw something. So she crept up ahead and peeked behind the giant redwood tree. And as she got closer, she saw a beautiful, strong fairy in emerald green running sneakers with wings on them. The beautiful fairy said her name was Lauren, and she was Vivian's fairy godmother. Vivian was so excited to hear that she had a fairy godmother, she couldn't wait to introduce her to Audrey. Lauren smiled and gave Vivian the biggest hug and said that she could grant her 3 wishes. And Vivian was so excited that she blurted out, "I want Audrey to talk." And Lauren, with a twinkle in her eye, looked down at her winged sneakers and waved her magic wand. The winged sneakers fluttered 3 times and she said, "Presto!" And Vivian looked at Audrey and smiled, and Audrey shouted, "Vivian!" They ran to each other and then hugged and danced in the forest. And Vivian had been waiting to hear Audrey say her name since the day they met. And Lauren reminded Vivian that she had 2 more wishes left. Now that Audrey could speak, she and Vivian thought long and hard about what they could do with the last 2 wishes. And then Vivian asked for a special playground that all the fairies of all abilities could play in. Lauren once again waved her magic wand, her winged sneakers fluttered 3 times, and she said, "Presto!" and the playground appeared, and it was enormous. It had giant flower petals for swings that everyone could enjoy. It even had candy canes for monkey bars and bananas for slides and gumdrops to jump on. And there were magic turtle shells everywhere with waterfalls for all the fairies to play in the sun. Audrey and Vivian loved playing in the special playground and seeing all the fairies laughing and dancing and having fun. But wait, there was one more wish left. Audrey and Vivian had so much more than they ever wanted, so they just had a simple wish. And that was for all the fairies to always be kind. And kindness means to always say hi and include everyone. After all, every fairy, big and small, just wants to be loved and included. Lauren granted this last wish and everyone lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you everyone for listening to my story. I hope this brings a little bit of smile and happiness to all of the families out there during this trying time, and we'll see you soon.